Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, we'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 7 of the anime series Shokugeki no Soma, Sen no Sara, Toutsuki Ressha-hen, the second half of season 3 of Shokugeki no Soma, the Toutsuki train arc, for all intents and purposes. And this episode, man, holy hell, it was a surprise every other turn. Everything that happened, it completely blew me out of the water, and I went into it with really no expectations. I didn't know what exactly to expect, what in the hell was going to happen next, with where we left everyone but Takumi Aldini, Megumi, Arina, and Soma himself had been, for all intents and purposes, expelled. They failed this third challenge that Azami and Central has set up, and they're all gone. They're outski, everything like that. Even Kira and Jun and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I didn't know where the hell they could go from there. And so this episode is just like every other thing that's happening left me mind blown. And I got to give props to Arina, even though I thought it was somewhat foolhardy that she gave chase after her father, learning that he was about to leave and go to the next stage of this whole challenge. She tried to appeal to him. She tried to implore him to let these students stay on, to not expel them just outright as per the doctrine that he set forth. And I knew it was a lost cause. I knew it would be falling on deaf ears where he's concerned. And so I did not, in any way, shape, or form expect suddenly Joichiro, Soma's father, to be there. And as well as Arina's grandfather. And they're being, together now, working together, simpatico, in this whole effort to stop what Azami is doing, and even that much further, Dojima, I always knew Dojima was a good guy, but I didn't expect that he was this cool, that he had actually sought to reach out to Joichiro and Arina's grandfather and get them together in this effort. And it goes back 6 months, and I thought it was interesting, a little nugget of information, a tip of the hat, to the fact that Joichiro didn't even really want Soma to become a part of Toutsuki Academy, but it was because of the pressure Arina's grandfather had put on him, to see Soma, go through all of these challenges and really test himself and perfect his given skills, his acumen in being a culinary artiste, even at the ground level, in just a sort of rudimentary, ad hoc shop, cookery, a little restaurant. It's just, it blew me out of the water to see Joichiro there to, be messing up Soma's hair and Soma losing his crap over that. And then the direct line he makes, the beeline he makes in challenge form to Azami, look, how about we do this Team Shokugeki stuff? Let's bring this out of the woodwork. And I'm not just going to sit on the sidelines. No, I'm going to be a part of it. In fact, I'll put my little restaurant, my very modest little restaurant, on the line. It'll close, and I'll become your lapdog. I'll bow to your whims and wills and become a part of whatever this is, this grand design you have going on now with Central. And of course, with the promise of being able to put Joichiro under his thumb, Azami immediately snaps this up. Just before dodging to the next joint that they're going to all have to accumulate at in his helicopter, he's giddy as a schoolboy. I mean, talk about foodgasms with this show. As soon as he heard what Joichiro was willing to risk for all of this, I'm sure he just, left a wet spot in those trousers, Azami, before taking off. I'm just like, holy crap, man. It was all kinds of dope ski. It was dope sauce. I loved all of it. The next stage, sort of finishing out the episode, was, okay, now that we're in like Flynn, now we gotta prepare. We can't just walk into this and right off the street, fresh off the street, and know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be facing so much of the Elite 10. Azami, I guess Azami's going to be in the mix in a manner of speaking as well, and it's just like, oh man. So, of course, they break themselves up into two groups. Dojima gets involved as well, which is hilarious. But as part of this whole challenge, to try to perfect their skills and get them ready for what is up and coming against the Elite 10, you got Dojima, Takumi, and Megumi, I think, is the one group And then, of course, Joichiro, Soma, and Arina is the other. And you have, very surprisingly to a point, Megumi, we have her inner monologue the whole time. She's recognizing that Takumi is understanding what Dojima is doing. There's not a word being spoken as per the rules set by Arina's grandfather for this testing challenge to just get them ready for what they have to do next against the Elite Ten. And it's hilarious how they become a fluid mechanism. They're interpreting each other's minds, what needs to be done in the process, step by step through which it needs to be carried out and everything like that. And then we cut over to Joichiro and Soma, who are like bickering and fighting. They've lost all pretense of being silent, of trying to make sense of performing this whole culinary dish that they have to put together and everything, like a French dish, supposed to be served gratin with potatoes involved and everything, cheese and such like that. And Dojima, really interestingly, in this test challenge, he's putting his own sort of spin on it as a means to challenge them that much more. And I guess, in a sense, Joichiro's kind of doing the same thing in the fact that he's not doing it procedurally. He's kind of making it up as he goes, which is completely throwing off Soma's game, because he's like trying to think about this, approach it in terms of step by step, in order. And so that has them bickering like crazy, like mad. And of course, Arina's grandfather's like, I'm gonna send you packing. Get the hell out of here if you don't shut the hell up. And I love that about Soma. Like, even with how much is at stake right now, he is still calm, he's still cool, he's still having fun. That aloofness that is part of his character, but it's also a level of cocksuredness. Like, he's sure of his own skills, he knows his own limitations, and he recognizes that, and he still wants to put, every skill that he has adapted and evolved to the test. He gets excited about this looming challenge, even with all of the stakes involved. And that's the thing I've talked about early on in the second half of this third season. I didn't know how much, there would be in the way of stakes. And now we see that, oh my goodness, the majority of Polar Star, they're out unless this challenge is met, unless this team now, Shokugeki, is met, and our sort of 6 conspiring members all take the win. Soma's he's trying to make sense of this dish, the preparation of it and everything, his familiarity with it. And of course, he's always going to be in conflict with his father. As long as it's creative conflict like this, it stands to just make them better and better at what they're capable of, to hone their skills and their craft and just reach the highest peaks of their own talents by playing off of each other. And that's really what this test challenge that we end this episode is all meant to be about, is all meant to encapsulate before actually walking in front of and going toe-to-toe with these members of the Elite Ten and Azami himself. And so, watching this episode, I had goosebumps. I was thoroughly shocked and surprised with every twist and turn, and I was just uber stoked. It was once again another example of this show getting me completely off the wall, stoked and excited for everything that was happening. And what's more, I'm left chomping at the bit to find out what the next stage is, what the next episode is going to be bringing with it. And so yeah, otherwise that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.